Look at that. Definitely on the goal.
Hey, welcome everybody to the Chrisundertaking Live Show with your hosts, twin brothers, Jason and Chris. Hey, Jason, I feel like we have a pretty good lineup for today's show. A lot of good segments.
We do, but as you can see, I am wearing USA. I am repping the gold medals that USA is currently tied with China. I didn't watch tonight, so I don't know. But go Simone Biles, go Suni Lee, go all the Olympic people out there. USA, USA, USA. All right, well, enough of that. But
so this live show is hosted by twin brothers Chris and Jason. Because if you ain't digging,
then you ain't living.
All right, so what do we got on the lineup today, Jay?
Hey, so tonight we're going to be talking about a few things. Number one, we're going to be talking about how did you get started on TikTok, okay? Because we need that origin story. How did you start filming? When did it start? How's it going? Number two, we're going to be talking about your first video, but also your first viral video. And what is viral? I think we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. And then, of course, getting into Australia, because now we told viewers last week, you are now in Australia. You've been there for quite a few months now.
Yes.
And last week we tried, what did we try last week, Chris?
We tried, it wasn't Marmite. It was called Vegemite, and it was awful.
Right. It was awful. And on our Crush and Flush It segment, we decided to flush the Vegemite. Catch that on our last episode. But tonight, we're going to be trying the Tim Tam Slam. And if you never heard about that, we're going to fill you guys in tonight. And of course, we're going to take questions and answers and also fill you in on what's coming up in Chris's life. So that's what tonight's show is all about.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited
too, man.
You'll be able to follow along down below on what segment we're on, and we're starting with number one. So why did I start filming? So this actually comes all to you, Jason, all to you.
It does come to me, Chris. Well, it started back in 2020 with COVID, and I was late to TikTok. TikTok was blowing up as a platform, and I decided to get on there and see what all the rave was about, right? And I started making videos, and I started, pushing myself to get on camera. And as you know, getting on camera kind of takes a little bit of you have to work through some of your issues if you haven't.
I was going to say, right?
Yeah, you got to get used to hearing how you sound in front of other people and what you talk like and what you look like, And so I remember just having a really good time with it. I was kind of into politics at the time. Don't talk about politics now, but I remember being really into TikTok and thinking that you would be really good at it because you were just starting to dabble with some adventure type content. And so I kept pushing you to get involved in it because I thought you'd be great at it.
It was funny because you reached out. So I'd been gold prospecting for about 8 months actually, and going on these adventures. And you were like into the TikTok thing. You kept on talking about it. And really, I wasn't a fan of social media at all, which is surprising. I know you might be like, oh my gosh, guys, after you see now. But actually, I did not like social media at all because the only reason I had some of it is because honestly, I was always deploying overseas. And it was one of the only ways I could kind of keep family members and friends updated on what I was doing, where I was at, making sure they knew I was safe and everything like that.
Right.
And so, it was one of those things where like you talked to me about it. I was like, oh, dude, that's a lot of work. That looks like a lot of effort. Like I'm very uncomfortable as well to get behind the camera. And then you ended up like pushing me towards it. It was like finally 8 months later, I was like, okay, fine. I'll jump on, I'll post a video and we'll see what happens. And so actually, I was able to find my very first video. I'm not on camera. I'm not on camera on it
because I was like time too nervous to get on camera
at this point. But I was able to find my first original video that I posted on TikTok, and here it is for everybody to see right now.
Let's take a look.
The very first one.
Nice, you circled it.
I circled it. I put a little title in it.
Oh, you added
yeah.
Hey, that's a lot when you first start. I mean, that takes.
I was gonna say.
Editing takes a long time.
It does. And what's funny about this, right, is that's all I posted, right? And that happened on June 6th, 2021. It was my first take on everything. I even used Gold Owl City, because very creative at the time.
I love Owl City.
Gold and gold. I know. So this is kind of like the platform was started. It was actually funny because then this actually got 1,200 views, right? So like I was like, Okay. Like, I guess people do like watching this stuff, and you start realizing there's kind of an audience for everything, you know?
Right. Oh yeah.
And so it kind of inspired me to keep making videos, just because I was like, well, if this one can get 1,200 views, I wonder, what video next I can put out and see how much views you get from it. So,
Yeah, the feedback is, I mean, it's hard to beat,
right, I was gonna
Feel
say,
good about yourself, especially
all
when you're putting
right.
in effort.
Right. But then it was funny though, because then I started kind of going down a path here of where I honestly didn't know what I wanted to post because I wasn't gold prospecting enough at the time. And
Right.
so I was just posting everything from chicken videos because we had chickens in the backyard, which I love and I miss. I was posting workout videos. I mean, I was just scrambling to grab content at that point because I was still just feeling it out, seeing what I kind of wanted to post content. Because you really have to like niche yourself when you do content creation, and kind of
Right.
like
Right.
who identify, across what people are going to see of you and what you're presenting. And so I was all
Right.
over the
Right.
place. I was just scattered. Because it was just all over the place with the content, but I was trying to get stuff out there, right? And
Right.
then
Right.
that's when I decided to go on this gold prospecting trip out into the desert. And I was like, you know what? One thing that I've not seen much of is actually, shot backing the desert, And so it was something where I was like, maybe if
How
I
did you yeah,
do.
how did you hear about shop vacuuming in the desert? Like,
Well, it's one of those things when I started gold prospecting, back in the day, the desert's actually where I learned, from teachers, Phil and Steve out there on the claim. I went to one of their free classes and everything like that. And so that's actually
okay.
kind of learn how to gold prospect was out there. And so then I was introduced to using a shot vac because you get down to the bedrock and there's so much dirt and trying to use a broom and all that kind of stuff. It's just not as effective as a shot vac does.
Right. Right.
So I was like, you know what? I haven't seen really a video on like how to use a shot vac out in the desert. And it was probably one of my few videos where I actually put a lot of more time and effort into it. And I did like, a voiceover, which sounds awful. I'm going to show you guys the video here. But it went viral for me. It hit over 1 million views. But it was after 60 videos. I posted 60 videos at this point, and it took
Wow.
60 videos for it to finally, one of my videos to actually go viral in a sense, where it hit, over 100,000 views to to 1 million views. So yeah. Hey, Ed, thanks for joining. Glenn, Joseph. I got other people in the chat on Instagram. How is everybody doing? Even on TikTok. I love it. I love it. Cody, welcome to the show. I appreciate it. Sorry,
Welcome, guys.
page,
Woo!
page there, just talking,
Well, it's great. Well, so
you.
you hit your first video of 1 million views, right? And
Right.
are you gonna show us this video here?
I'm gonna show it to you guys right here. So this is my
Joseph, what's
first.
up?
What's up, Joseph? This is gonna be my first viral video that went over 1 million. And it was with the shot vac. So let's take a
Now you
look.
might be wondering, why do we bring a shop vac when we go gold mining? Let me show you why. First, it's really easy for my son to do and enjoy. He likes sitting there, especially when it's hot outside, and that's all he has to do is shop vac. Second thing is, it gets in all the crevices, or crevasses, as I like to say. As I move the shop vac around,
Good
as you
line.
can see, it breaks apart a lot
It
of the
triggered
dirt
a lot
and
of people in
dust, and
comments
that way you can get in places that the gold likes to hide that my shovel can't. Now remember that red bucket right there. You're going to see why later when I do my final
That's
cleanup.
Firehouse Subs
I like to
bucket, man.
separate the shop
These are
vac from my
awesome
regular
buckets.
cons. I recommend bringing a paintbrush. It really helps with the dry wash cleanup, especially with the Keen 191. The blower option on the shop vac is also very useful for cleaning off the mats and sucking inside the dry washer. All right, let's see what we got. There's that red bucket I told you to remember about. Just panning and panning and panning. And that's why we use a shop vac. Look at the amount of gold that I wasn't able to get with a shovel if I didn't suck.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was
Now
my
you
first video. And what's funny about it, I don't know if you could hear it in the background. You could hear people talking because I'm doing like a voiceover. And I think I was in like just like my dining room. So you can actually
Right.
hear my like kids and wife talking in the background, and it's all echoey and everything like that. But it hit 1 million, and like I was like, holy cow! Like it's kind of interesting to see, when you put in time and effort, and you stay consistent with videos as a content creator. I mean, again, that was 60 videos
Right.
before
Takes a while
that.
before something,
Yeah,
and
it
that's
takes
not even
off.
that many, to be honest. I mean,
No, it's not. You
you
hear
know,
Mr. Beast and a bunch of the other big content creators are saying, like you have to make 100 videos. You got to
right.
just get to the 100 video mark to kind of see where you're at, narrow in, and kind of find your voice, find what kind of content you want to put out there. And I think even more so. I mean, I've put out close to I don't even know now, like 800 videos now in total. And I
Yeah.
think I'm still figuring out my voice, my content, kind of my direction on stuff,
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but it was pretty cool, definitely, to hit that million mark. That's something everybody kind of goes for when
Yeah,
you're
that's a huge
first,
video, man. I
you
mean, when I
know.
was yeah, and you hit 30,000 on a video, that's huge. So to hit 1 million, that's quite a feat, man.
Yeah, definitely. And then what's funny about it is the fact that I didn't I didn't uh I didn't really launch on the potential of it. That was a bad way to phrase that. But I then ended up going on a deployment for 3 months to Camp Atterbury to help with the Afghan refugee mission. So this video went viral in November. And then by first week of December, I was out of I was in Indiana, and I wasn't filming anything for 3 months. So it's kind of
Wow.
funny because I ended up launching that video, and then I ended up just taking a 3 month break from shooting any kind of video content. I didn't really jump on the potential there to really skyrocket,
Right,
my
the momentum
channels
is
and the
yeah,
momentum.
social media's momentum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just stepped back, and actually I was afraid to come back into it because I was like, oh man, I kind of had the momentum there. Then I kind of just took a step back. So
Yeah,
hey,
so
mom and dad are watching the show, Jay.
oh, to have your
One
parents
fans.
support you, I mean,
I
what can you ask?
was gonna say,
Hi, mom and dad. Look at what we became. Look at us.
look at us. We're
We're
live
two
on,
boys.
on social
We're on
media.
the TV.
Right.
So, Chris, your first video eclipses 1 million, but we talked earlier. What was the first video that just took your account and your momentum to the next level?
All right, so I came back right from a 3 month hiatus, and actually, it's my Home Depot video. So I ended up shooting this Home Depot video. It was released on March 5th, 2023. So you have to think
Okay.
about that. I started in June 6th of 2021, and it was almost 2 years later that I went viral, where it blew up all my accounts. And so now remember, this was the time when YouTube Shorts were coming out and everything like that, and even TikTok at that point, all their platforms were only 60-second videos. You couldn't go beyond 60 seconds. So I had to make it a 2-part video so that way I could hit all the platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and everything. And again, it wasn't a video where I was it was something I saw other people do, this Home Depot, test the sand for gold and everything. And I was just like, you know what? I want to give it a shot, shoot this cool video, in the backyard, minimum effort, and let's just see what it ends up doing. And it
And it
took
was
off.
a little gimmicky too, if you will. Like it
Oh,
kind of,
100%
let's go to
gimmicky.
Home
And
Depot
yeah. Oh, and 100%. And I didn't even think I was going to even find anything. I honestly was more of testing the theory that you could find gold. And I think what actually inspired me to make the video was the fact that I found gold. I was like, I think this is going to cause a lot of controversy because, again, people are not going to believe that you found gold. They're like,
right.
no way, there's gold.
Well, I was like, how did this even make sense? And then the more I started thinking about it, where would they get the sand? From maybe a quarry, or I don't know where, and then, what's with sand? Oh, other rocks. And suddenly you start to realize it is possible. It just isn't intuitive that you could go buy it,
Yes. No, 100%. It's not something that kind of just flashes in your brain like, oh, let's go do that, instead of go in the river, So
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna take a look at the video.
Is there gold in Home Depot sand? Vinny and I decided to test it out, and the results were crazy.
No way. No way. That's stupid.
I've seen other videos saying there is gold in the sand, but
That's a good
we had to
tease.
check for ourselves.
Right.
We bought 1 bag of sand to test through our high banker at home. Vinny prepped the sand to run it through the high banker and declared, and he started feeding the sand into the
remember,
high
this
maker.
wasn't two
Then
parts,
we
so I
worked
kinda
together,
combined this
father
to
and
make it into
son,
one
as a
part
team.
for-
Right.
We got to the end of it, and I poured the
YouTube
rest of the
again.
bucket into the sluice box.
Only-
We
you're
turned
only allowed
off
to
the
go
water so we
60
could clean out the
anyways,
mats.
so.
We pulled the mats from the sluice box and cleaned them out in the gold pan. It was time to pan out the results and see if we got any gold. And right away I saw tons of mica and silica. But then suddenly I saw 2 pieces of gold. I know Finney was excited.
Wild.
Right.
And a few pieces of micro gold. We have found that there is gold in Home Depot sand.
That's wild, man.
Isn't that crazy? It's
You know,
crazy when you
this-
think
yeah.
about it.
It's crazy because I just saw Pioneer Pauly post that he is doing a dump truck now of Home Depot sand.
Yes, he is taking it to. So it's really funny because again, I think it's just the content creator world, right? So we're friends with Pauly, you and I, and so actually Pauly had the respect to call. He didn't even need to, but he called me and said, "Hey, I loved your video. I talked about it all the time because I said it was like a great experiment. It was so much fun to do. You live up in Canada, maybe you should try doing it yourself," type thing. And then he ended up running with it and said, "Hey, I want to shoot this. Do you mind?" I was like, "I don't care," because again, it's something that you want to share with other content creators. Like, this was really fun to shoot. It was a cool experiment, and I want you basically will validate that there is gold for me because he has a way larger audience than me. So then he's taking it from just testing a few bags to where he did a yard of it last time, where he got that whole moving truck, and now he's taking it to a full dump truck. I love how he's escalated it to all these levels with that.
Yeah,
video.
and how much money he's spending on
Oh,
sand.
I
Like,
know.
it's unreal.
I know. It's
It must be
unreal.
good views though. Because at the time too, TikTok, when it was kind of newer, people were very when you copied videos without acknowledging the creator, there was kind of, there was no sort of copy infringement. But I mean, now you see TikTok, everybody's copying everything, and you don't have to ever nod to the person before you. But I mean, that was a cool thing that he did to kind of check in with you as a friend, so.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I just love how he actually pushes you as a content creator to continue to hey, what other crazy gimmicky kind of what else might hold gold, and it's kind of led to me checking cat litter, which I did.
I was gonna say you did cat litter, right?
I went to home and I went to Lowe's and checked out their brand, and actually just teasing this right now is my plan is actually to check the sand here at Bunnings, which is their version of Home Depot here in Australia. I'm gonna go grab a couple bags.
Oh, you have to,
I have to, because I have to now see, and plus, now Pauly's inspiring me, seeing all these videos that he's doing, to be like, oh, that was so much fun and such an easy video to shoot. And the logistics, you just do it anywhere. So you go set up in your backyard. You don't even need to do it in a one-day shoot. You can do it
right
spread out if you want to, so that way there's no pressure with it. So it's definitely really cool. And in total, that video right there, that Home Depot video, ended up hitting 22 million views on YouTube, 15.4 on TikTok, Facebook another million. So in all, with part 1 and part 2, I was sitting around 50 to 60 million views across all the social media platforms.
And that's the one that sent your YouTube account, wasn't that the one?
Oh, that one blew up. Yeah, that one got my followers up
over 100K or something like that. Yeah. That was a big video.
Oh yeah, within a week, I think I increased my followers by 60, 70, which is a good, and that was after 2 years. Remember that. Again, I want to stress this. It's all about consistency with content creation. Some people are going to hit viral a lot sooner, depending on the content, stuff like that. I just say stick with it. It's one of those things where you'll have your moment and enjoy it, and then just keep kind of riding the roller coaster, and just know that content creation is an up and down.
Right, because you enjoy prospecting and filming
exactly.
it bonus,
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm doing it because it's a way for me to kind of archive and document my journey with my kids too, that they can look back at it. Because you and I, we look back at our camping trips with our family, going fishing with grandpa, all these things that
rafting, when our parents tried to kill us rafting.
They tried to kill me multiple times. They put me under the raft, over rocks, and they're like, it's fun, Chris. It's fun.
Did you ever, if you had to do it again now, would you rather be in the raft with mom or dad? Or did you have back in the day, mom was a little safer, right? In some ways. Safer. And dad was a little bit more of he also led us. Yeah.
Well,
was
he'd
the
watch
leader.
Grandpa
so-
go down. Grandpa would go down, and then Dad's like,
yeah.
"Well, I'm gonna one up it. You went down that side. I'm going on the left
Yeah,
side."
of
So
course.
it
Like
was
Dad
like,
had to like try his own route, and then
oh yeah, it was good.
and then we go by and see one of us flipped over upside down. So
Right. Well, do you remember that time we both flipped out and Dad? We flipped out. You and I were stuck on a rock. Our dad's
yes,
trying to convince us to jump out off the rock to
right, because
swim
we
to
needed to
him.
swim to him. Yeah, yeah,
And then Mom and Nate are watching us from the side. Then they go down sideways and they flip themselves.
yeah,
And it
yeah,
was
yeah.
just like it was just
It was kind of a scary one because I think our raft was hooked on the rock, so
yeah.
it had to swim away from it, and then it came loose later. But we lost, of course, everything is floating. It's a when you're a child, I mean, children, but it felt very dangerous.
Oh, it was very traumatizing. I choose not to raft anymore.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, no. Anyways, good memories, man. Good
no,
memories.
that's so funny. That's so funny. Um,
Oh,
yeah. No, and then it was kind of funny that month actually where I posted in March, I ended up having another video, Gold in Our Boots, that I did with Luca. That one hit 17 million itself. So kind of March of 2023 was probably my best month ever in content creation of just videos
nice,
just back
man.
to back viral. It kind of just inspires you. To keep making content, but then also it kind of drives Luca and Finney to want to be part of the process now, so they're now bringing out their own cameras and photography. Again, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like it's something I want to do, it's something I want to enjoy with my kids, and how can
Right.
I get them to enjoy it so it doesn't look like just manual labor of like, let's go dig in dirt.
Yeah. And you have gotten some kickback on that too, right? Some people have not accused sincerely, but people play at that taking your kids out and making them work in the desert is some sort of child labor law, and or
Oh, I
something.
know, it's hilarious, and I
Yeah.
actually enjoy it because it's true. I use them for manual labor, and I pay them in McDonald's. So,
There you. Hey, what
you know,
kid doesn't want to work for? I mean, that's a great
exactly.
deal.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say you get them. So they call it Mackers here, actually, in Australia. Mackers. That's what McDonald's is. So you
Okay.
tease them with a Mackers Happy Meal, and kids will do anything. And so
Mackers, huh?
I
That's
was
cool.
gonna say. So I went. Suggest you drive up next to a school and say, "Hey, kids, for some Mackers Happy Meals, come dig in the desert with me." It's going to be
Yeah.
frowned upon,
It's
but
a little creepy. Yeah.
it's a little creepy. But if your own kids, hey, that's one way to get
Hey,
them
it's
out
like
to the
camping with
desert.
some digging, and what kid doesn't want to sit with a shovel and like playing some dirt? I mean, that's what boys like to do. Girls like to
Exactly.
do. Everybody likes to play.
Yeah, find rocks and stuff and find treasure. You're literally hunting for treasure. I mean, who's
Yeah.
not going to enjoy that? So,
Yeah.
no,
That's cool, man.
definitely. Just gonna browse through the
Well,
comments. Melissa,
yeah.
thanks for joining us. Joseph, I appreciate you. I'm gonna have to do that then. Actually, Glenn, I'm meeting up with Vogus here in a month and a half, 6 weeks. I'll be heading down to meet up with Chris and company down there on my way to Ballarat area, where I'm going to be meeting up with a whole bunch of prospectors and doing a bunch of, collab videos and checking out different areas, because again, there's so much gold rush history in Australia that people don't realize that there's probably more gold actually in Australia than there is in America, and it continues to be a prevalent amount and lots to be found, and it's just fun to see all the content other people make finding it. So definitely.
Awesome, man.
And then Moonshiner TikTok Trommel video, that one made a couple million as well. Moonshiner, I can't remember across all the platforms because that one went viral as well on YouTube, and then a bunch of the other channels. So yeah,
I
it's
remember that
great.
Santa Andreas video too, or the river one you did.
Oh
It
yeah,
was real-
Santa Ana. Yeah, that was
Santa
another one.
Ana, that was another one that blew up, and that was just a very that was almost like an ASMR type video because you had a lot of stream and like river kind of vibes in that one, and I liked that one. It was very
that's
well
what.
shot.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to. Again, I'm still trying to navigate, right, as I make videos. But out here, we've been doing a lot of creek digging already in Australia, and so it's kind of fun to actually just include kind of like just the sounds instead of just trying to be action the whole time. I'm still trying to navigate the I guess
balance.
the balance exactly between showing what you're doing and the fun and excitement behind it, but then also kind of showing the process and kind of just the peacefulness and calmness of being outside in the outdoors. That's why I started. I mean, from your suggestion too, started adding all those cooking video type things, like the outdoor
Yeah, I
cooking
love,
stuff.
dude. I'm so into mukbang, dude. Just eat, baby.
I think it's amazing though. You get out there and you cook like kind of like the outdoorsy camping stuff, and I think it just brings a whole new element and peacefulness, kind of like wraps the whole picture of like what you're doing out there.
Yeah,
So,
what you're doing out there, and people want to see what you're doing when you're not digging too. I think personally, I like to see what people like, what the whole experience is like to get out there and do it. So that's cool that you're still, open-minded to that kind of stuff. So
right. And talking about food,
oh,
kind
that's
of brings
right.
us to one of the segments I'm looking forward
Woo!
to. I'm really looking forward to this one. So this is our second episode. If you didn't know, our first episode, we did Vegemite. We have a segment we call Crush or Flush.
Yeah.
This
Woo!
segment is where I try unique foods from across the world, mainly in Australia right now, and we give it a rating of crush or flush. Crush being you would definitely eat this again. Flush is down the tubes. So what we have for you today is called the Tim Tam Slam ritual. All right. So Tim Tams are amazing. They're made by God, given to the angels who gave it to the people, because it is one of the
Wow.
best desserts or cookies or biscuits, as they
blends
like to
into it.
say out
Yeah.
here. Oh my gosh. They're one thing when you open the pack, you finish the pack. Let's just say that. It's been very difficult living here and having these around everywhere because you always got to get them. So, give you a little history on the Tim Tam. So, what is a Tim Tam? The Tim Tam is a brand of chocolate biscuit introduced by the Australian biscuit company Arnott's. I think that's how you say it, Arnott's.
Yeah, we'll
In
take it.
1964. It consists of 2 malted biscuits separated by a light hard chocolate cream filling and coated in a thin layer of textured chocolate. I mean,
I heard chocolate a lot in there, and that's all I
there's a
need
lot
to know.
of chocolate,
Yeah.
and it's just delicious. So,
It looks crispy. Yeah, looks good.
but I'm not just going to eat a Tim Tam. That's the thing. What we're going to be doing is a Tim Tam Slam
Oh.
ritual. So we have this little slideshow, with a graphics in here that don't necessarily do it justice, but the ritual involves biting the diagonal corners of the rectangular biscuit, dipping the bottom corner into a hot drink. Coffee is what most people do, and then sipping it through the top corner like a straw, and then munching on the whole soggy biscuit. So basically what happens on the inside is the chocolate cream filling gets all warm, and basically it's like melting, and then you slam it down real quick, and it's supposed to be the best thing ever.
So you kind of dip, straw, and then eat them, and kind of do that over. Yeah.
Just one cookie at a time, though. So you're basically biting on both ends, put it down like a straw, you suck, and then you
soak it, and then you
soak
slam it.
and you slam it down.
Ooh, okay.
But I'm not good at pictures, so I'm more of a visual learner in the sense that I need to watch someone do one, see one, teach one, that whole ritual. So
yeah,
we got a video for you guys.
Well, my good friends in Australia and New Zealand are going through their winter months now. It's getting a little chilly in Canberra.
Yeah,
so
I love this
thought
guy.
we'd have a nice hot cup of Milo and do a Tim Tam Slam. What do you think? 4 tablespoons of Milo.
So he's using Milo.
I've heated 300 ml of milk. That's perfect right
He's
there.
making like hot
We'll add some
chocolate.
of our hot milk.
Yeah,
to our
Milo is like a hot chocolate, but it's actually
And we'll stir it
infused
up.
with vitamins.
That's
So it's like a
best.
healthier hot chocolate.
The end off of here.
There he goes.
And
He's
here.
biting them off.
Biting. He didn't do corners. He just did.
They haven't used to such a straw. Wow.
Molten chocolate, slam it quick.
Right.
That's where the slam comes in. Let's add some marshmallows. Why not?
Ooh, now he's talking my
You can't do
language.
just
was
one
gonna
Tim
say.
Tam Slam.
He's doing the ultimate chocolate.
He kind of did a corner there on that one. It looked
Yeah.
like. There, he
Yeah,
did
there
a
you
corner
go.
on that.
He did a
there
corner on that one.
Wow. That's so good. You should do this.
Okay.
Oh,
he
he's a
said I
sweet
should
guy.
do this, so I think I'm going to do it.
Chris, are we gonna do this? I mean, I don't have it, but I want to see you do it. Are you gonna slam this?
I'm going to slam this and give it a crush or a flush view. So I actually made some hot coffee I don't know if you can see the steam. See, this is my biggest fear of doing this Tim Tam Slam is the fact that like when you use it as straw, are you going to burn yourself? So I've moved a lot of things away from me just in case this goes terribly wrong, and then you'll have to call 911, which is not that over here, so you will be of no help. But I have my Tim Tam right here, this deliciousness, and we're about to perform the Tim Tam Slam ritual. Here we go. So you got to bite a corner.
I'm ready.
These are so good.
Oh, I'm jealous.
I did the diagonal.
I like it.
We're going full blown on this one. Going in. I gotta use it as straw.
Okay.
This is really hard with the mic right here.
Get in there, boy.
Oh yeah. Oh here, as well here.
Oh.
It's melted. That is heaven's food right there.
That is heaven's food. So
Oh,
what are
just
we
melting
giving
the
it?
chocolate.
What are we giving this
Holy
baby
cow.
here?
We're gonna give it a crush. A crush. That is a crush. That is a crush. I can eat that every day, all day.
C-R-U-S-H. Crush it. Woo.
So
Yeah, did that burn your face at all? Melissa wants to know. I'm kind of curious too.
did
How hot
not.
was that?
Actually, it surprisingly the cream actually like
Oh, you're
I
going
think,
back
like,
in.
extinguishes the hotness of the coffee. I'm not sure, but it didn't burn, and it wasn't
Okay.
hot. Like it wasn't like taking a marshmallow right off the stick, and then you try to do
Right.
and then you burn it's like
Oh,
lava.
don't ever use a fork and then touch the fork to your mouth when you forget that the marshmallow. Yeah. Anyways,
I will try again though, just to make sure that I got it right. I actually sucked the coffee
I heard that. That was a good slurp
through
that time.
that, and wasn't hot. Did not burn my mouth.
And interesting.
So for
Well,
safety
I think
reasons,
it's a winner.
you guys can do it.
So this is Australia only, and you have to like ship them, or you probably could buy them on Amazon.
It's only Australia only, but from what I understand, they're available in Canada. So which kind of makes
Melissa's
sense.
in. She's gonna buy one. I think you can buy them on Amazon because I've looked on there. They're
I
probably
think you
just
can,
overpriced.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably overpriced and everything for sure. And then they have different versions of them. They got like the double
Flavored
fudge
ones or
yeah, they have like salted, like
Like
so.
Oreo. There's like the Oreo aisle has just become massive. If you don't, I don't buy Oreos anymore.
Yeah.
For those that do, there's every flavor that you can imagine. So
Right. All right, so we gave it a slam. So it's onwards now to segment 4, our announcements and Q&A.
woo.
Announcements.
Announcements.
All right, the very first one, again, I'm going to continue to push this, is join my Patreon. You have to do it. It's a must because
Come on, people.
you'll get a bunch of giveaways. So that's where I do all my giveaways. It's going to be on Patreon. It's a way to consolidate all the social media channels that I'm on into one centralized location where I can just do giveaways straight on that platform. That way I'm not sitting there trying to bounce around to these different platforms and posting different things. So that's where I do all my giveaways. I also do behind the scenes. I'm still growing it and kind of deciding how I want to do the content on it. And again, it's free. You don't have to, you don't have to pay for a subscription.
I like
it's literally
free.
Just go over there, sign up with your email. It's a way for me to be able to send you guys stuff via email, digital copies, digital gifts, all that kind of stuff, because I plan to kind of roll out some features coming on, especially with this show, with me and Jason doing it, where we might be using Patreon to kind of do some digital giveaways, some shots of everything. So, that way you'll have some picture frames because you want to capture all these moments.
Yeah, you do. This is tantalating TV, people.
Right.
Especially that coffee.
Right. Coffee's hitting hard. Second announcement, of course, book 2 is now out. Book 2. And so this was part of the giveaway I did on Patreon last week, is Doorstop Gold, available since 25th of July. It's on Amazon across multiple channels. Please get it. And we're going to actually read you another page of this book.
Yes, and when you're searching for it, type in Doorstop Gold, right?
Doorstop Gold, children's book in the search box, or kids book, and you'll find it. Or if you just look up Chrisundertaking on it, it should pull it up.
Should pop up. Okay.
Should pop up. Melissa, we do have different tiers. So I have a free version, and then I have a $1 support version. That's it. The $1 support is I send out videos onto Patreon that you get basically an early look. Like the video that's getting released tomorrow that I'm going to talk about in a little bit is actually, you already have access to it right now if you are a $1 subscriber. Again, I'm not looking for money. I was forced by Patreon to create a tier that you can pay to subscribe, but I am trying to incentivize that by giving you guys behind the scenes stuff, early access to things that don't come across the channels for everybody else. So only the 2 tiers, but the free one is all you need to be entered into any of the giveaways. But if you do sign up for the $1 subscription one, you do automatically get a free digital copy of book 2. So just know that. Yeah, no worries, Ed. I appreciate the support. And again, it's just to kind of help consolidate, and I'm slowly building that channel up just to start building an email list. So when future events, shows, things like that, I can kind of let you guys all know what's going on in the realm of Chrisundertaking and my twin brother, Jason.
Yeah. Woo.
All right, let's read this book, Jason. Let's read it.
All right. Let me get into character here. Bring it full screen, please.
Here we go. Bring it in. And execute.
As they walk into Conrad's house, he yells,
"Mom, Dad, I'm home and I brought some friends."
Conrad holds the door open, letting Luca and Finn pass.
"Watch your step,"
Conrad said, pointing at a large yellow rock near the floor. Door. Shit. Oops.
Family friendly show.
Family friendly. Sorry. Door. Dang it. I
Door.
almost nailed it too. Oh, I was so sure that said
the
floor.
title is called Doorstop Gold.
Yeah. It led me there.
But who's to say that the yellow rock's the gold? I don't want to give a giveaway right there. So, you know. All right. Moving on to the next announcement is we have my newest and latest video will be coming out tomorrow, 12 o'clock p.m. for those in the States, 5 a.m. for those in Australia. It'll be releasing on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube. And if you're on Patreon or whatever already, golly, I'm stumbling over my words. That coffee's hitting hard.
I rubbed off on you.
You can already see the video on Patreon. So look forward to that. It's a really cool video, actually. I actually loved filming it. And when I did the editing, I teared up slightly just because it's just me and Finney. We got a bag of pay dirt from AU Alchemist. So Gold Alchemist. He's another content creator. He created his own pay dirt bags. And he sent me a bag for free just to test out because he loves the boys, loves watching them, dig for dirt, gold, rocks, everything. And so the bag is just loaded with crystals, gems, and cool rocks and fossils and gold, of course. And so Finn had a great time. A lot of scenes I just kept in because it's just so much fun to watch Finney just sitting there pulling out every little piece and like talking about it and like, oh, look at this one, look at this one, look at this one. It was just a lot of fun, a lot of energy behind it. And so I really appreciate AU Alchemist sending us that bag and giving us that opportunity to, share that moment together going through it.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So look forward to that. It's coming out tomorrow. And then our last and final announcement is Oktoberfest. Again, October 25th through the 27th. You have to sign up on plasterpetesgoldcamp.com. This was an event that I used to be an instructor at before I moved to Australia. When I go back, I will be an instructor again, helping out with the events. It's the best event in SoCal right now and the largest. And they just announced that Fisher Labs, who the creators of the Goldbug 2 and Goldbug Pro metal detectors, is sponsoring the event. They're going to be going out there and they're going to be giving away metal detectors and pulse induction pinpointers. And they're going to be giving away a bunch of other stuff as well. So if you want to win yourself a free metal detector, you had to sign up already for it by August 5th, but they're going to be doing additional giveaways at the show as well. And there's going to be Royal out there. You know, there's going to be Kevin Hoagland out there. I mean, they have the agenda is always packed, filled with tons of stuff. And all the gold that you're seeing on that screen is all gold found at those events and at that claim. So there's tons of gold to be found, and it's a great time. So make sure you attend.
Now, do you have to be an experienced prospector to go to this, or is this like a learning thing, you know?
Great question. You can be a complete beginner. You don't even have to bring out any gear. So this is a full-blown, hands-on, free event where people will teach you with their own gear, and there'll be gear for beginners to use. So you can show up with nothing except for the clothes and water that you bring out there.
Bring clothes, people.
Bring clothes. It might get awkward quickly, and you'll get dirty really quickly because there's a lot of dust flying everywhere. But yeah, you don't have to bring anything, and you will learn from all the experts, and you will get it. Everything's hands-on. So it's not you just sitting in a class watching, oh, that's how you find gold. No, you're going to learn how to find gold. We're going to be over your shoulder looking at you, finding gold with you. And you'll get gold fever. That's the only thing I have to warn you about. Gold fever is real, and you will never stop digging. So I highly recommend it.
That's awesome.
All right. And lastly, any questions from the audience, we are here to answer. This is the Q&A portion of the show where we like to end it and wrap it up. But we want to give you the opportunity to ask any questions for me or Jason.
Yeah, it's going to be for you. Let's be real here.
You're all part of it.
If not, we're going back to the Olympics, folks. USA. Oh, I almost spilled my drink. Why are you guys so... Oh!
Amanda Spangler. That's our sister-in-law right there. The wife of my older brother, Nathan Spangler.
Amanda.
Why are you guys so cool? Why are you so cool? That's a Keanu
Your family,
right
Amanda.
there.
We get it from you. Actually, we get it from... I'm not sure who we get it from. Mike Spangler?
I got Steve on TikTok going to be there. I got Anthony on there as well. Love it. Thanks for joining in. I know Steve's going to be out there with his whole trauma setup and everything like that. So there's a lot of opportunities on those at the event at Oktoberfest. So don't miss out. So Anthony on TikTok, Tony is asking me, is this a once a week live stream? Right now we are doing bi-weekly. So every 2 weeks we are doing this live stream show, which then brings us up, I guess, to another kind of announcement, Jason, on this.
Let's tease it.
We might be having some guests on our next episode. We can't say who, but let's just say he's pretty darn popular. And we
may have been talking about him earlier in the show if you were listening. Ooh.
Yeah. Who might it be? But we will be having guests on this show. Our show in 2 weeks, we will be having a guest appearance, and we will make the show all about him or her. And so we're really looking forward to that. So we're bringing that element of kind of like the, interviewing, kind of get behind the scenes and kind of, open your eyes to other content creators out there in the gold prospecting adventure world. So I'm excited for that opportunity. But we're doing this every 2 weeks right now, every 2 weeks until we kind of get a wrap on this, because we do put a lot of effort into this show. Hope you guys enjoyed all the slides. I try to put a lot of visuals out there. This is all
you do a great job,
Jason, and everything. Or my co-host, is we just talked about, we wanted to make this visually appealing. A lot of action on the screen, things, you get to see. So that way we're not just talking heads like I am right now, where I just am mumbling because I don't know what to say. And the silence is scary.
So August 20th or August 21st, if you're in Australia, but for the U.S. Pacific, August 20th at 7 p.m. Of course, that would be 10 p.m. if you're on the East Coast. Man, I'm bad with time.
In Australia,
You're
I'm
in the future right now, Chris. It's
Yeah,
Wednesday.
it is Wednesday and it's 12:45 right
See,
now.
my
So
screen, it's dark because the sun is going down, and you are in the world of the
I'm
living.
in the middle of. I'm hitting my peak right now in the day. My peak
Yeah,
is right
I'm
now.
hitting my
So,
peak.
so,
Well,
yeah. No. So Ed Marvin, right there. He actually is one of my inspirations for the show. He's Flashing Your Pan. I joined on his show. His show is actually before mine. I'm sorry, Ed. It's just the timing of this with the one day I get to work from home on Wednesdays, ended up lying on Tuesdays, but that's also why I did it later. So that way people can go. I'm not trying to overlay on your show at all. And again, we'll adjust times and everything like that. But he has a great show, Flashing Your Pan. He's been doing it for years and years and years, doing the YouTube live shows. And he puts a lot of time and effort into it. And he has some of the most amazing guests on there. He invited me on the show and he worked it out and everything. It was awesome. A lot of audience and crowd members over there. And so
thank you, Ed.
I was
Woo!
going to say, Ed kind of inspired me to do this show because he talked about it off camera with me about live streaming and the amount of work. And I was like, that's a challenge I kind of want to take on. It's a whole different experience. And kind of shooting from the hip in a sense, so
Yeah, you can't edit things.
you can't edit. No, I was gonna say every time I stumble on my words, it's not like voiceovers with videos where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna redo that, 3 or 4 times. This one's like you say it. So,
You said it. Well,
no, definitely. All right, we'll give you guys another minute for any more questions. But otherwise, we're gonna be wrapping it up here in a second. But I appreciate everybody swinging by.
yeah, man.
Coffee
Thanks,
is
you guys, for coming.
peak. Definitely, Glenn. Definitely.
Yeah, you can drink coffee. I can't. I'm drinking an A&W zero sugar. By the way, if you guys, I'm not plugging this, but man, this is a good soda. Caffeine free too. So
A&Ws. I think you can only up in Canada only now.
do they have it?
They
Yeah.
used to have it in the States, or there. It's very
Okay.
far in between. I think there's one in Washington State actually.
Oh.
But they used to have.
Do you remember we went to A&W with Grandma and Grandpa years ago, and we
Yes.
got that little mug that we kept forever and ever? And
Yes,
I
And
haven't
we used
been
to
to
take
one
milk
since.
shots out of it. 'Cause
Yeah,
we thought
yeah.
we were cool. We would come in and be like, we're going to hit a milk shot after we were playing like, tag or something outside. Or
Hi, Amanda.
trampoline. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah, it got you juiced up. It's like when you take shots of the Dixie cup. When you
yeah.
did you do that with water too? I think you've done that where
Oh,
you
yeah.
got sick on water trying
Yeah. Just trying to take shot. Yeah.
to take shots. But
Yeah. No, definitely. Well, oh, yeah. We had one in Shelton. Yeah. It was,
yeah,
yeah.
A&W. I don't even know if they're around it. I think they're
It's Canada, I think, only now.
okay.
But
that's
hey,
what you're
again,
saying.
there's revivals going across everywhere. Kmart's over here in Australia. You can't find them in the States, but they are thriving over here, and I
Wow.
love them. Oh yeah,
Wow.
over here I go to the $5 shirt rack, $5 shirts, amazing. So
Dang.
in Australian, whatever, $5, that's like $2.75 a shirt, and they fit
Wow, you got the
fantastic.
conversion rate for us
I
there.
was gonna
Nice.
say, it's a 1.
So our dollar is
right now.
stronger in Australia then, huh?
Yeah, so our
Oh,
dollar.
at least our dollar's stronger somewhere.
It is, but pricing can be a little in your head. You kind of justify a lot more what you pay for stuff over here because you're like, oh yeah, that's
It's
like,
only
it's only like that much. That'd be way more expensive in the States, and then you kind of do the conversion. You're like, well, actually, maybe not. So, but
That's not so- yeah.
but in
not
the
great
moment,
savings.
justified. So,
Totally.
all right. Well, it's been great. Thank you again, Jason, for jumping on this with me.
Thanks,
I
guys.
appreciate everything. And
you're
we're gonna
welcome,
be
man.
we're gonna be closing this out. So
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks time we'll be doing this again. So talk to everybody later and have a great day.